Hello everyone, I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. In the headlines, the Rasta community says amendments to the Drug Prevention of Abuse Act will be of greater benefit to the wider public. The late Hermione Irish, described as a gentle giant who left a lasting impression on her students, and mark it day with a difference, is on this year in spite of COVID-19. The details coming up.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. We're in this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
A member of the House of Nyabingi says the amendment made to the laws of Dominica decriminalizing the possession of 1 ounce or less of cannabis does not change much for their community. Rasiwatu says the Rastafari community has traditionally used cannabis in its ceremonies or for spiritual purposes, but he believes Monday's amendment to the Drug Prevention of Abuse Act will be of greater benefit to the wider public or non-Rasta community.
It doesn't make a difference to us, it doesn't impact us anyway, because for a congregation house in Nyabingi, anywhere you find in Nyabingi house, every person normally has more than an ounce of herb on them. So once we know that we don't break the law, we don't trouble, like we don't smoke in public, we don't disturb the public utilities or public places. In our congregation, we have normally been using herb for years. Since before the elders have been using herb, and it hasn't troubled us because we know that even within the government, they respect our congregation. They know that when we in our gathering, herb is our sacrament. We have no limits to it. But then the law that has passed or been passed is we would say it more for the people and them in public, because a lot of people in the public, like the private citizens, they use the herb and they have that fear against the police and against the laws that are passed. So that it's up to the people and them, to the more the public people, that not much the Rastafari community or us being, because sometimes you see a Rastaman who say you see a ganja tree. So it cannot be if but or maybe.
The Rasta community has a message for the young people of the country who may see this as a green light to abuse marijuana.
As we say, herb, drinking a tea of herb for medicinal purposes is a different thing, but smoking herb is to remove complications as well. And youths, they don't have complications. So the parents have to guide how they give their children the herb. And then it's something, if you do a tea for a child, that mild you can use it in certain areas. But then to have a little child smoking herb, that is not all right. Because first of all, the breath of the youth is not as much as powerful as an adult. So taking that to control your breath and control smoke within your lungs, that's a different thing for you. That can hinder the health. So then, as the House of Nyabingi it's normal amongst us that we don't give children herb. If you have a tea you give to somebody, a tea can be different. A tea is a different medicinal purpose, a tea. But then we don't allow, we don't promote that smoking of herb around children.
Siwatu says there are safety concerns as well to do with the source of the cannabis that is being used.
The caution is that the people that are going to utilize the herb from then on, they have to just be cautious on where they get the herb from. Because
so
the source of the herb is a good thing. Yeah, because what we find, over the past years, people have been commercializing the herb, and they use all kinds of chemicals to make it go fast or to make it change the taste and
genetically modifying it.
Exactly. So those things people have to be careful with those kind of things, because the herb, we say it is for the brain and for different nerves in your body. The THC, that goes directly to your brain. That's where that's certain. I can explain, because scientists can explain whether tentacles, whether in certain things in your brain that that portion of herb goes directly to. So if you're using something for your brain, or for your health, you don't want to contaminate it with things that are hazardous to human health.
Significant sums of money intended for construction of an international airport have been utilized for post-Hurricane Maria recovery efforts. That disclosure from Prime Minister Skerrit in Parliament on Monday. In June 2017, government established a fund at the NBD to facilitate monthly deposits of US $5 million or EC 13 million. Mr. Skerrit was responding to a question from the leader of the opposition on the status of the NBD account set up for the construction of the international airport.
With our monthly savings, the balance in that fund as of June 30, 2018 was $149,429,500. The balance in that fund as of September 30, 2020 was $239.69. Mr. Speaker, with the government of Dominica subsequently receiving a pledge of support for the construction of the international airport from one of Dominica's closest allies and friends, the government of the People's Republic of China, and other confirmed sources and means, government proceeded to divert the use of most of the funds to respond to national needs emanating from the destruction of Hurricane Maria. These included construction of homes and repairs of homes, and as you know, Mr. Speaker, many people did not have insurance, while some were underinsured and received less than what they would have expected from the insurance companies. And therefore, they all required government support. Restoration and rehabilitation of roads, river dredging, and repairs to government buildings. Support was also provided to several private sector businesses who were in dire need of financial support during the devastation of Hurricane Maria, including the wage bill support for some of those businesses. Monies from that fund, Mr. Speaker, were also used to pay for the feasibility studies and initial designs of the international airport, which were conducted by a reputable United States firm, as well as to pay the farmers for crop compensation, payment of some of the lands we acquired to facilitate the construction of the international airport, as well as some of the landowners for their land.
In fiscal year 2017-2018, 1,673 citizenships were approved under the CBI program.
1,073 under the government's cash option, 285 under the MMC housing cash option, 111 for children and dependents under the cash option, 204 under the real estate option. For fiscal year 2018-2019, there were 579 under the government's cash option, 802 under the MMC housing cash option, 77 for children and dependents under the cash option, and 468 under the real estate option. For fiscal year 2019-2020, there were 396 under the government's cash option, 1,057 under the MMC housing cash option, 319 for children and dependents under the cash option, 443 under the real estate option. Total funds received under the various options were as follows. Financial year 2017-2018, $378,642,693.42. Financial year 2018-2019, $480,787,034.23. Financial year 2019-2020, $463,678,409.04.
Dominica to benefit from a $20 million EC project geared at enhancing its market access and the Dom Gap standards. Andrea Louis tells us more.
The improvement to market access for local agricultural products and enhancement of Dominica's good agricultural practices standards are the focus of two projects aimed at increasing capacity within the Ministry of Agriculture. The projects, titled Sustainable Land Management in the Commonwealth of Dominica and Strengthening Resilience of Agricultural Lands and Forests in the Aftermath of Hurricane Maria, have a total cost of just under $20 million EC dollars. The projects will be implemented by the Partnership Initiative on Sustainable Land Management and the Inter-American Institute on Cooperation for Agriculture, IECA. Director of Agriculture Ricky Brumant says the farmers will greatly benefit from the projects, which aim to establish an integrated land management model that includes agricultural, forestry, and natural resources management practices that generate development and environmental benefits in Dominica.
Sustainable agriculture is very much part of Dominica's outlook, given the need for resilience, given the need for building, supporting risk management and mitigation. That is of course at our core is key for us, understanding our need for food security, national food security in particular, and of course the need for increasing our exports, and of course realizing the livelihoods of small farmers. These two projects are certainly going to add to our abilities to help these farmers continue progressing, but progressing in a sustainable way.
The project seeks to support 40 farmers across 5 parishes, namely St. David, St. Paul, St. Patrick, St. George, and St. Joseph. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
The Minister for Education, Octavia Alfred, has described the late Hermione Irish as a gentle giant who left a lasting impression on her students. Irish, who was principal of the Wesley High School for 26 years, passed away at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital on the weekend. Education Minister Octavia Alfred says Irish was an exemplary educator who helped nurture the minds of the country's youth.
Over 40 years of dedicated, exemplary service, a woman of virtue and strength, with calm spirit, kind-hearted, patient, humble, very pleasant, soft-spoken, a great principal who has made her contribution not only to education, but she helped nurture minds. She helped shape the lives of many young ladies with positivity. Some describe her as a gentle giant, very dedicated to her work. In the words of her student, her mentoring style inspired them. Her support and interest in their character development was exceptional, and that she was respectful to them.
Alfred says Irish, who was also an active member of the Dominica Association of Principals of Secondary Schools, will always be remembered by those she influenced during her teaching career.
Peaceful rest in Miss Irish. We thank God for her life. Words are not enough to appreciate her contribution to education. She has made her mark, molding young minds, molding young lives. We thank God for her. Death cannot take away a person. She will always remain alive in our hearts and lives. The influence of a good teacher can never be erased. We pray for comfort and strength to her family. The Wesley High School Board of Directors, staff, and students, please accept our condolences.
You are watching Channel 5 News. We'll have more after this.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. We're in this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
The public is being reassured there will be Market Day with a difference in spite of the COVID-19 limitations. Here is Andrea Louis with more.
Market Day with a Difference is scheduled for Saturday, 31st October at the Roseau Market. The Roseau Market Authority is preparing for the staging of this event, keeping in mind the logistical and health challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic. Superintendent of the Roseau Market, Kishma Regis, says the months of dealing with the COVID threat has prepared staff for hosting and managing this year's Market Day with a Difference.
In keeping with the health protocol established by Ministry of Health Authority and effort to maintain social distancing, the Roseau Market has limited this year's activity to provide entertainment for the vendors and patrons in the form of local traditional music and cultural entertainment. Though the event has been scaled down, we would like to encourage the vendors and the tenants to participate by decorating their stalls and their shops.
Despite the toned-down celebrations for Market Day with a Difference, there will still be the awarding of prizes for vendors and shoppers.
We are also encouraging them to dress up in the Creole way, as prizes will be awarded to the best dressed vendor, the best decorated stall and shop, the best dressed customers. So we are also encouraging the customers to come in with their Creole wear. And we'd also like them to bear in mind that when they come into the market, come with their Madras face mask.
Regis promises patrons that Market Day with a Difference will maintain the Creole theme while putting into practice the health protocols as established by the Ministry of Health.
Certain areas of the market will also be decorated with Madras to enhance the shopping experience for the customers. So we are just asking everyone to bear in mind of the health protocols. Your hands will be sanitized at the gate, you wear your mask, and we're going to have a good time.
The Minister for Health is appealing to various institutions to impress on their members the importance of maintaining public health and social measures against the COVID-19 pandemic. The Health Minister made the appeal in Parliament on Monday.
I'm dissuading the public from engaging in all these mass gatherings that can possibly spread and transmit the virus. It doesn't mean that we cannot celebrate our independence, but we have to be careful and we have to adhere to the protocols and the guidelines that we have put forward. So it would be nice if all the pastors and the priests in their churches just devote 2 minutes to just remind the public, remind the congregation of the health measures that we put in place. It would also be nice if the principals of the different schools put just 2 minutes in the assembly just to remind about the public health and social measures. All the business owners and all the people who have in their shops, just to remind their patrons that please, you must have a mask if you enter. You must disinfect before you enter. These are the simple little measures that we can put in place that yes, we can remain safe as we are, as they say, safe in nature.
The Health Minister says in order for Dominica to maintain its success in the fight against COVID-19, the public must play its part.
It's an all-inclusive approach. It's a collaborative approach. And that is the only way we can continue to have the success that we're having. So I'm pleading with the public regarding the public health and social measures that we must adhere to. None of us want to go back to the curfew and the lockdown stage. But Mr. Speaker, we can prevent that if we comply to the guidelines and the protocols that have been put forward by the Ministry of Health.
The Prime Minister himself has issued his own warning to the public to maintain the health guidelines voluntarily or face mandatory wearing of masks.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. We're in this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD, all for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
To end the news, a look at the headlines again. The Rasta community says amendments to the Drug Prevention of Abuse Act will be of greater benefit to the wider public. The late Hermione Irish, described as a gentle giant who left a lasting impression on her students. And Market Day with a Difference is on this year in spite of the COVID-19 pandemic. You may access the news on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Julian Morris. Thank you for watching. Join us tomorrow.